gut moves this
I
microphone.
know, it's handy. It is the benefit of being a rotund gentleman, is having, you know...
It's essentially a third limb.
It is.
Or a fifth limb. You know, you can be like, move that. Hey!
Yeah.
You know, use the gut.
Set your cup of tea in it.
We're bringing some merch back up the steps there.
Oh, why?
I mean, I feel like a man without a gut wouldn't even be able to lift up.
Nah.
You got the gut on. I mean, that's what all them strong men do. You know, they just hike it up onto the gut. Legit move.
Some of the strong men never lose the gut. Like, they're absolutely just piping biceps and arms, but the gut stays.
Yeah. Well, they're eating 12,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
The power gut, they call it.
And then some of them get that. I don't know if it's roids or what it is, but they used to have the pecs and now they've lost them.
Yeah.
And they're just like 2 wee flappers. You could stick a piece of paper underneath them. You ever see that? Like a man's lifted so much he's bust his tits.
The meatloafs.
You could stick your schedule for the week under it. Like, oh fuck, I've got 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
like an order in a restaurant.
Jeez, right, let me see now. Dentist on Tuesday, fuck me.
2 bacon, egg and cheeses.
Slap the other one.
I got the fucking floppy tits today after that breakfast I had.
Welcome to my world.
I'll do it too then. But see, to be honest, we joke, but you know, I don't usually be eating such a heap of shit at that time of day.
At that time of day, no.
You know what I mean? I ate that and I'm like, man, I feel like I got rabies.
Yeah.
You eat 4 fucking Centra Deli sausages and a bap.
Yeah, for a fact. Like,
you got the you know, like there's like no moisture.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
High sodium content.
Oh yeah. Oh, them sausages will rob you of all moisture in your mouth.
I had to make a real song and dance about it, ordering the tea, because I had the Hafners in the basket, and I was gonna cook them at the house, and then I walked past the deli and I'm like, what am I playing at? I'll not be doing any cooking.
Yeah.
And then I said to the girl there, I was like, she's like, how can I help you? And I was like, I just want a box of sausages. And she goes, that's totally fine. She goes, how many do you want? And there's 8 there. And I went, all of them.
Yeah.
And she went, fantastic. And then I went, I assure you they're not all for me. And all the other girls are like, I'm sure they're not.
We giggle.
And then the one man who works there, he's like, we're not going to judge you. And I'm like, you've done it already.
They've seen far worse.
They probably have.
They've seen far worse. That's like people would come into the vape shop and they'd be like, oh, sorry, this is so embarrassed, whatever. And I'm like, there's boys that come in here and buy 2 full boxes. You're grand.
And drink them.
Yeah.
On the way out the shop.
Yeah. You're all right. No matter, they have seen the worst of it.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah,
Any shop you're in.
Is that what, it's like the doctors, isn't it? You know, you're scared to go in and show them your bollock or something. And they're like, I've been staring up arseholes all morning.
Yeah. And honestly, your ball bag probably in the top 20 I've seen.
Yeah. This
past 2 months.
That would be nice to hear from the doctor, wouldn't
Some
it?
absolute veiny bean bags in here the past few weeks.
Sorry to have to show you this and be like, honestly, perfection compared to what I've seen.
It's a pretty good neck.
It's a
bit hairy, like you can do a bit of manscaping, but besides that, not too bad. You haven't put me off my lunch, which is more than I can say for some.
Yeah, they do. They will have to just be staring at someone's pies and then an hour later eating a fucking chicken and stuffing sandwich.
Oh yeah, well you have to, you know, the ability in that job, which is probably one of the main things you need, is the ability to just detach.
Yeah.
See the worst things.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Piles, lunch.
Yeah. Chicken bake, hemorrhoids. And be able to zone into each one as you need.
Meal deal, pus. I close the door to pus and I move on. Onto a Muller Crunch corner.
Gangrene flaps, ham and cheese sandwich. They're not the same. Gangrene flaps.
The crunch quarters.
Sorry, just as soon as I said that, I reflected on the term I used there. Absolute smut. See, it never ends.
Never ends all week, mate.
You would think after 48 podcasts we'd have ran out of things. You know what I mean? But it just keeps going. Never runs out.
No. Crazy.
No, the doctor's probably the worst. They've probably seen the worst. I was telling you today about my flatmate. Like, you know, he's a former member of the military and a current firefighter.
Yep.
And I'm like, the shit that man must have seen. I'm like, how does he even be able to enjoy? You know, he's sitting in the living room playing a ukulele. And I'm like, does he have to do that to kind of set his mind at rest?
Yeah,
or
to let the steam off?
The things that he's seen, like?
Is to carry it in the backpack to work?
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes, please.
He does be telling me a couple of very funny interactions. The first man I've seen play a ukulele though, and haven't thought to myself, check his hard drive. You know?
Yeah.
Ukulele's a tough instrument to pull off.
It is.
You either gotta be a big Samoan or a paedophile. It's only 2 people that can play it.
Can I just watch this for my own amusement here for just 2 seconds? Just to...
You on it?
This
Oh
is
yeah,
this
they've used
is
this in a horror movie. Yeah.
this is exactly the guy.
Yeah.
If the guy
Insidious.
Insidious.
He did with this song. Oh, tiptoe.
Early Hosier. Before he let himself go.
I mean, the ability to reach those notes is
It's crazy because there's something scary about it. Obviously, they use it in the horror movie and it's fully creepy. But then you look at a guy like that and you're like, how can he do that?
But were the creepy connotations there, or has the horror movie made you see that in a creepy light? Like, at the time when that was being played, were people just like, that's delightful to listen to?
I don't know, but I would look at him and go like, he looks weird, how can he sing like that? And then there's probably some crazy backstory where they were like, oh yeah, like his family dropped him on the doorstep of a old people's home and left him there. Mm-hmm. And that's where he grew up, and there's just all these creepy old ladies singing. Yeah. And he's like, I can just perfectly mimic that. Yeah. I've made all that up.
Yeah.
Interesting I've made it all up, but that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how can he do that? And how has he reached such levels of fame?
Yeah.
Because they're probably bringing him on being like, where do you see this?
Horror movies can ruin songs though. Like if you have a scene where it's like, two wee girls in like blouses in an abandoned warehouse, and they're like, if you go down to the woods today, that kind of carry on.
Yeah.
You could take any song and play it over the top of it and you'd be freaked out for life.
There is something scary about children.
I Got 5 on it. Remember, it was used in the Jordan movie. Fucking terrifying.
Slowed it away down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does work. It does work sometimes. But the kids are generally scary.
Are you a fan of horror movies? I never feel like you talk about horror movies.
I'm not like, I know there's people just enjoy that feeling of, watching a shitty horror movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really hard to get one that's like a good movie and also scary. Because some of them just go straight in for the, it's mad and gory and all, and you're like, oh, shite anyway.
I feel like it falls into the same treacherous fate as a rom-com. And that all of the tropes have been done a million times.
Yes.
And in order to separate yourself from that and become a bit of a meme, you have to take creative risks, and they'll either be embraced or made fun of the rest of the time. And I love both when done right.
Maybe you should write a rom-com.
I would love to write a rom-com.
I think the last horror movie that I seen that was pretty good was what's the fucking Nicolas Cage was in it? What's it called?
Oh,
Big
Long Legs.
Long Legs.
It's great.
Yeah, I like that.
It's cool as fuck.
That was fun now. Creepy.
Yeah, well, Cage does have creepy face. Like, I hate to say it, God forbid me, it's the way he was born, but like
on a good day, he looks like he's wearing another guy's face anyway. Doesn't he?
He's got Cage face, like.
And he's got major Cage face. And he's never just himself. He's never just chill.
Yeah.
It's always kind of, it's always like, even when he's on a chat show or something, he's nuts.
The ones I think the abduction ones are probably the scariest to me. Like what was that one? And it was the guy fucking was hiding the wains underneath his like mother's like basement or something.
Fritzel, that was real.
Cloverfield.
No, it was another one. Fuck, what was it called? I watched it the other week. Waiting, known cinephile.
Big Sino.
What was it? I can't remember the name of it now, but like the guy had like long hair and he was like in court and all, and they were asking him questions, and then whenever he came out, your man went up to him and like grabbed him, and then he like whispered something at him regarding the daughter that he'd taken, and then at the very end they fucking get into your woman's lair and whatever. Mental film, really good.
Find out what that is.
It's really good. But absolutely,
the good thing about having a podcast is 15 people will tell you.
Yeah,
I mentioned Xbox last podcast. People are like, man, you gotta get the fucking thing, sign up, £15 a month, get whatever game you want.
Game Pass.
Game Pass, yeah.
Game Pass.
I was gonna say that, but didn't want to sound like a nerd.
This is judgment free zone now. I talk about pro wrestling on here on a weekly basis.
Oh, I'm on the Game Pass.
You're on the Game Pass?
Oh, aye.
Xbox?
Absolutely.
Do you have an Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we should play each other online.
Yeah, F1.
SpongeBob Carton.
But Niall'd take you to the slaughterhouse.
Of course he would. You got the wheel and all?
No, I don't.
Now the wheel's a
I
dumb
wish I
thing.
did. I wish I did.
I feel like you need it.
Is the wheel still utilised?
Oh yeah.
I thought the wheel was like a sort of early 2000s thing.
For F1, boys have everything but the wheels.
Yeah.
Like they have the full fucking seat. It's like, they're way down here.
Yeah.
playing the full thing.
I did see Skate 4's coming out.
Yeah.
Soon as I'll be into that now.
Yeah.
Live my dreams through a computer instead of actually buying a skateboard and breaking my hips.
Yeah. I feel so light on this screen.
Can I overshare an embarrassing thing I googled this week? In a judgment-free zone?
No, but the floor is yours.
No, I won't then.
No, go.
I googled, is 30 too old to start skateboarding? And there was a Reddit thread where it was all like, no man, not at all. I'm 52 and I started 4 months ago. You know, don't be held back by...
The guy's typing like every bone in his body smashed. Not at all. I'm all good.
kickflipped himself into a wheelchair.
Yeah, I would just do all my skating outside the hospital. I'd be like, let me grind down this ramp here.
Man, I would love to just take up a skill and tell nobody about it and then just turn up one day and be half decent at it, you know?
I got one for you.
If you picked me up at Dungannon bus station, I just popped out a 360 shove it, you'd shit your pants.
I tell you what you should practice in the dark, and I'll tell you what.
What's that?
Driving.
Get the wheel now. We're playing Colin McRae.
I'll drive you up to Belfast and you sit in the passenger seat and just copy me. Yeah, they need like an actual just you know, driving on the roads of the UK simulator. Hold on, I have to, you're sitting in the living room like, hold on a second, need to pull over and get petrol. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know, but where the fuck would I get the time to learn to drive at the minute?
I know. It's mental. You'd need like, I don't know, like realistically the best way to drive would be like if somebody owned a big field and, a spare car, and you just get the hang of the car as quick as possible, and then refine it on the roads. Yeah, that's how I would go about it. Because it is mental, like to just jump in a car and someone go, we're gonna learn this live in the streets, with other cars.
What did you do whenever you got your license? My age?
Old, 29. Old, very old.
Yeah. Were you straight in the ball now?
Straight on it.
Straight on the ball.
I lived in the fucking middle of nowhere.
He lived in the middle of nowhere. I was just going fucking school in art college, and then was very, very poor.
Yeah.
But sure, you could get the test and get a fucking Rolls Royce right now.
No, I could not.
Of course you could, man.
Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
Wouldn't even have enough probably to get me provisional. What was it, like £40?
Yeah. I would pay you, but I've lost my phone and wallet.
And it's mad turning up to bars and having the passport as ID. You know? Like I have to do that in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I lose this, my whole life is fucked.
You whipping out the birth certificate to get a pint. I told you I had to find my birth certificate. Man, it was like something you find in a bottle at the beach.
Yeah.
Like from the pirate sent you. This boy was born on this day.
Written with a feather with ink in it.
Yeah. A quill.
Is that the scientific term for that?
A quill.
A quill?
Yeah. Get the quill out.
How did they write with a feather? Hey, I put my full grip into a pen when I use it.
Yeah. Well, they didn't let everybody write.
Yeah.
Is that not like would you not be called like a scribe or something if you were like, get the fucking scribe in here? I have to fill in my provisional.
Write this down quick.
Yeah, he was like he had a full business because he was the only guy in the town who could work a pen. That's hilarious.
How did the philosophers make any coin? Or were they just going about the street saying shit?
I still don't think they make any coin. I think there's boys nowadays making money off the back of the philosophers.
Yeah.
You know, these gym bros that are like, you know, memento mori, brother. Fucking Marcus Aurelius said.
Marcus Aurelius.
Guy standing in a gym with a wee microphone. Standing in a pure gym, as Marcus Aurelius said.
But like at the time, Aurelius was probably getting so much grief from his siblings. You know, they're like, he doesn't want to do anything. He just walks about chatting shit.
That's what I mean.
You know?
That's what I mean. It was fucking gay to be able to write.
Centuries later, his words are being used.
Stop sitting around there with that fucking twiddling your quill.
He'd probably be a Twitch streamer nowadays.
Yeah, some arty, some bullshit. Man, slagging him. He's over here fucking writing notes and all. Fucking weirdo.
Your dad's a scribe.
Who's that for? Who's that for? We can't even fucking read. You wee wanker. What'd you say your dad's a scribe?
Your dad's a scribe. Heard your dad's scribing.
Instead of a pencil case, you just have a fucking chicken beside you. That one's done. Just straight into the next one.
Oh, fuck.
I have to sharpen the quill here.
I know. And now now in this day and age, you know, there's people that are like, I can't start this project until I have the right pen.
Yeah, me.
You know?
Now we'll get to we should talk about the pop-up.
Yeah.
There was a shout out to Jonathan there. Was at the pop-up, travelled up from somewhere. Did he say he was up from Dublin?
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I got a new notebook and a new pen. Would you sign the first page for us? Man, delightful pen.
That was lovely, now I must say.
Yeah.
He had a fucking lammy and a brand new notebook, and I was like, I'll sign it surely. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
God, no.
59 for the pen.
Was it?
Yeah.
It felt like one of them sort of space pens, you know, where they're like, you can write on anything. You can write in water with this. Nuts.
59.
Anyway, big shout out to everyone who came to the Bomb Squad pop-up merch shop. Phenomenal turnout.
Unbelievable.
Couldn't get over it. Was taken aback. Outer body experience.
Completely not prepared for it.
Not prepared for it. Definitely should have changed my t-shirt and had a piss before yous all arrived. Ran out of time. Stuck there for 3 hours.
Apologies to every hand that touched my back yesterday.
every,
Some of yous referenced it. Some of yous were fucking chirping off the reference. Most of yous did not. And for yous,
but
apologize.
everybody was sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, we. I mean, this sort of happens with stand-up too. You throw on an event like that, where it's not like a ticketed event. You know, it's like, you know how many people are coming to your gig in fucking Waterfront or something, but you don't know how many people are going to something like that.
Yeah.
So you're slightly on edge, like, you know, we're setting up and carrying all the boxes in and all that shit. And you're going like, fuck, I wonder is anyone going to turn up? And then 1,000 people turn up.
Mental.
And then you go from like shitting yourself one way to shitting yourself the other way.
Yeah.
But you go, oh my fucking God, what's going on here? And,
But it was a lovely thing to do, because you know, you look at the numbers whenever, and you're like, okay, steady on, and then you meet every person behind every view and listen, and you're like, holy shit,
yeah.
this is mad.
And that's only a small portion of it.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot of fucking people. Crazy. I remember like peeking over the fucking balcony thing and just being like, oh my God. And like, we had nothing to do. You know what I mean? Shout out to everyone involved. Who've we got there now? Shane Walsh
Yeah.
on the fucking...
Big shout out to Shane. Stag do the night before.
I mean, absolutely.
Made the merch thing.
He made the bodega style shop front.
Yeah.
You were out in Stag Do with him the day before.
Yeah. And Lance.
And
They
Lance.
did all the merch.
Lance did all the
Shout out to
graphic
Lance.
design.
Connor Brannigan.
Brano?
Who owns Little Italy.
Are you joking me?
He owns Little Italy.
He fucking kept that quiet.
Jesus Christ. He loves carbonara too.
And he let me eat pizza out of fucking Lavery's. Unbelievable. I didn't know that at all.
Top shelf.
Actually, I joked about it the other day, but like, there is a vibe of just like, you're just all the same type of guy,
I know.
you know, and he's just another dude
I know
with a
he is.
5-panel hat on and a mustache.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, man. And then I had to go like, have we actually met before? And he's like, no. And he didn't even say that. He didn't say. If I was him, I'd be like, how do I'm Connor. I own Little Italy.
Royalty.
Yeah, drop your panties. But anyway,
Then Shauna, Freya.
Freya, Susie doing all the selling.
All the selling.
And yeah, that was all good on in the background. I mean, you're just sort of, because there's a little sort of little cushion of time there where people are queuing up buying, and then they'll come over and be like, all right guys, how's it going? We're like, oh, thanks for coming out now. And then that just sort of started some sort of photo line where people were coming around, and then that just did not stop for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Glued to the spot, busting for a pish, sweating.
Oh my God.
Everyone else was sweating, coming up. Probably should have got some sort of hand sanitizer for the people. It looks rude, but you're going like, I'm doing it for you.
Yeah.
Let's face it. And you know what I liked? A lot of cool people.
Yeah. I
You
agree.
know?
A lot of cool jackets. I said cool shirt to about
I know
40
people
people.
coming up are like, that's a nice jacket. Where'd you get that? Fucking cool. Just cool guys and gals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you're hearing wee snippets of stories. People going like, oh, this guy, where's my husband or whatever, he, used to listen to you and whatever, and then listen to the Bomb Squad, and then now the wife, she's a bigger fan.
Yeah.
She's lost the run of herself now.
Yeah.
You know, people there with children. How many children were there? 5?
Yeah, there's like 5 wins.
Eddie was there, and then he ran into the pool room, and the bouncer was like, "He's got to fucking go. Keep him out of here." And I was like,
Monumental event. First time getting kicked out of a bar.
"Yeah, kicked it." So him sober too.
Yeah.
Kicked out of the bar. They had to go. But yeah, people. There was a guy queuing up. He had a fucking baby, or like a young kid with him, and he's sweating buckets. And I'm like, man, the fucking dedication
I know.
to get a goddamn t-shirt round here is.
I did this here a couple of times with a couple of babies. You know.
I know. I said to people, I was like, man, I've shook 100 hands already. I can't
Yeah.
go near your baby.
I thought the baby.
Virus central.
A couple of dogs.
Couple of dogs.
Lovely.
Lovely big.
Dogs, babies.
Yeah.
Fucking, it was all there, yes.
Dogs, baby, yeah. And then you just get chatting to people. You're like, the girl was there. She's like, oh, my brother lives in England. He couldn't get this, so I'm here dying with a hangover.
That's right.
She was just like, I have to do a video for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is your birthday present. This and £500 cash from her. You're welcome.
Yeah. I know. I always get kind of awkward when people ask to do the videos, because like some people will already have like a script for you.
Jesus.
Where they're like, like one guy come to me and he goes, "This is my mate Jason. He couldn't be here. Will you just tell him to call him stupid?"
I love
And I
that.
was like, "No, I will not." I was like, "I'll say hello to him, but I'm not gonna."
My mate couldn't make it here. He's just had open heart surgery. Will you call him a fruit? This?
Yeah.
The guy who works for the prize guy?
Yeah.
The fucking prize guy sent him down. Mr. Prize?
Any prizes? Not
Sent him down. It'd be great to have staff like that. You're like, I'd love to make that, but I can't be arsed. You go.
Yeah.
You go and collect a few t-shirts.
Yeah. Fetch me a hat, please. I have a Volkswagen to sell here.
Oh, he's moved on from the Volkswagens.
Yeah.
Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. It was crazy chatting to people traveling.
Yeah. People coming from down south.
People coming down south. Scotland. Shout out to Kevin from Canada.
Kevin from Canada, unbelievable.
And he's wearing shades, and he goes, sorry for wearing shades inside. I look like a dickhead, but I was in the Devonish last night and I smashed my prescriptions, so I got to wear these ones.
The party boys strikes again.
And I'm like, don't you worry about it, bro.
Yeah.
Just mad mix of people.
It was great.
It was great, and it was, we were so locked in there for ages that I nearly forgot that we were supposed to do a live Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
That was a different wave of shock. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, well, that's over now. Great, fantastic. I'll go wash my hands up to here like a surgeon. You know what I mean? Like I was getting ready for surgery. And then, the aircon hit me in that in the green room at Lavery's, and I was just like, oh, I need a second wave. Did you eat them goujons?
I did. And I had 2 bowls.
Respect.
I needed it. It brought me back.
I ordered
Brought me back to life.
8 bits of pizza, 8 slices from upstairs for anybody. I was just like, just grab one. We had a couple each. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot I had goujons coming down. Bend the goujons.
Ben the Goujons, bucket of peppered sauce. Couldn't beat it.
Quick sleep.
Quick sleep.
Class.
You know what I liked about it was everyone I met yesterday, I was like, I probably would grab a pint with this person, which is a good sign of
Yeah.
the people that you're attracting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were all just fucking cool people.
Everyone was very mannerly, you know.
Yeah, there were no complaints, because it was like, I'm sure the queue was like for an hour or something
Yeah.
at some point, maybe longer.
Yeah.
No one said anything.
There was
Loads of tattoos.
Yeah.
loads
of
of
Bomb Squad tattoos.
At least 5 I seen Bomb Squad tattoos. We need to get one.
We
That's
need to get
that's
one.
fucking embarrassing. I was thinking of just getting, the new one we have that's like just the isolated eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
Full back piece. Full way across my back.
Yeah.
And they can shave just the areas where the actual detail
Cut
work.
the love rug. Get the tattoo.
Cut the love, cut the smiley face like that. 2 eyes in the mouth.
Cut it in your back.
Yeah. Yeah. The bomb has a beard now.
Yeah.
It was exciting. But it was, I don't actually even think it's kind
I
of
haven't processed it.
settled in yet. Yeah. I just got home and was like, well, I was fucking absolutely mental. Okay. Yeah. Try and go to sleep. I did wake up in the middle of the night for 2 hours though. I think I was buzzing or something.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. Last night was the first proper, good full sleep I've got this week. And I've had that every other night. Man, the 7 a.m. was the worst day.
Up to
It was like the
7.
Thursday, I just could not sleep till about 7 a.m. You know when you see the sun coming up and you're like, please just let me sleep.
Please.
Please.
God of suns.
Listening to the podcast, trying to nod off, but then just getting fully engaged in them.
I'll tell you something. I think I woke up about 3:30 last night. It was late already.
Yeah.
It was not dark, like.
Yeah.
And then I just fucking lay there.
Oh, that 7 a.m. that I tried everything. Raindrops.
Raindrops, 9
Seashells.
wanks.
Background coffee shop noise. Everything.
Background coffee shop.
Please just let me go to sleep. Silence. Tried that. Tinnitus.
I bet you it's just your body going like, you need to burn off some energy.
If my body could communicate to me, it would be like, please stop.
Help.
Please stop.
Too many good shots. I'll tell you what brought me. I was wired and tired last night. Had to go home and have a Weetabix.
That'll bring you back.
I was starving. I was like, I could make an absolute cloister here, but I was like, I need to bring it down a notch.
Yeah.
Let me have an old prison style Weetabix.
Yeah.
Just in the silence of my kitchen,
I got home and
slurping it.
my mother, aka the owl, was up, and
Head just on a swivel.
yeah, pauses the show about dwarves, and then goes,
What fucking time do you call this?
"Did you sell my t-shirts?" And I was like, "You don't even know what happened today. You don't know what happened today. Did you sell my t-shirts?
Did you sell the t-shirt? The t-shirt that you ever sell? Did you sell it?
I'll never forget whenever we went to the Joshua tree, like a group of us from the wedding, and my mom was on the phone with my mom. She goes, "Did you see the tree?" She goes, what is the hype about that tree anyway? Like, do you go to it, like, pray to it or whatever?
Aaron lives in New York and all. Have you seen the Big Apple yet? Where is the Big Apple? Is that near the Starbucks? The Big Apple?
You've never seen a woman more unfazed by everything.
Yeah.
Like, you could take her to, like, oh, this is like, you take her to the Grand Canyon. She wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Have you seen the video of the wee kid? The wee black kid, they're at the Grand Canyon. He goes, "Where's the canyon?"
Yeah.
She's like, this is it. The whole thing is it. But yeah, sometimes like it's happened a few times in this line of work where you that was absolutely bonkers yesterday that you would have
Crazy.
a throwaway idea like that all came from them going like, I don't even know if did we use it? Did we?
No.
We didn't. No, we didn't even. That's right. We didn't even use any of that shit. But they're basically like, oh, Miho, who normally does the sound at Lavery's, was like, oh, they've got this PA and somewhere, and we had to hire it for 4 days, so this date you can use it. Well, all this shit. And I was like, all right, I'll think of something. And then we're like, oh, should we do a pop up? And then we're like, yeah, let's do it. And then we didn't even really talk about it that long. You've been chipping away in the background, like ordering stuff and whatever.
Aye.
But none of us really talked to each other. And then we were like, I was kind of like, oh my God, that would be like 10 days away. And then I was like, are we still doing that? And you were like, oh, I have stuff coming here. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then had to fucking do a bit of stuff.
I know it is.
And then for like that many people to turn up and then you do the gig or whatever and then you just land back at the house.
Yeah.
And Maureen just acts like you've just landed back from any other gig.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, Eddie, it's so hard to get to sleep. I'm like, hey, hold on a second here.
That's what I mean. See my mother.
I'm out of my mind right now. Don't be all normal, but I nearly need you to be like bursting champagne when I come into that.
I know.
We need a
Or
celebration.
just like something.
Something. Yeah.
Like my mom being like, did you sell a couple of t-shirts? I'm like, you don't realise how many weeks of shopping you just got there. You'll never starve, Ray. Fucking hell. Give me a biscuit or something.
Get the catalog, Jesus, anything. Mark it with something. Maureen's like, I'm out of bed here and I'm just sitting eating the fucking Weetabix. The celebration
The
Bix.
celebratory Bix.
Celebration Bix right now.
Nah, it was class. Because I used to watch
It was
them-
just Maureen telling me like you should probably shower because of all those being around all those people. And I'm like, oh, I've got the plague in my own house now. The unwashed. What a celebration.
It was really cool though, because I remember I used to watch the videos of like Odd Future in the early days, and they would, every city they'd go to, they would do a pop-up shop, and I used to look at that and be like, man, wouldn't it be class to do that? And here we are.
Here we are. 8 goujons and 9 pizzas later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not glamorous, you know what I mean? 15 minutes before the show last night, I was loading boxes back into the car. And people who were going to the show were like, you need a hand? And I'm like, no. And then I tried to turn my car. I genuinely might see if Lavery's have CCTV of me trying to turn my car. I did about 8 attempts at it and I was just like,
This man here, some pilot.
it ain't happening.
He drove that in that back alley yesterday like he was driving a Skeletrix. Like a wee tiny Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, I went down Sludge Alley like fucking Max Verstappen.
Man, I do feel bad. Sorry to anybody that had the queue in Stanch Alley.
Yeah, we didn't quite. We obviously should have queued the other way.
Yeah.
You know, had there been anyone.
Because there's 12 hums coming at you in different directions down that place.
Man, on any given day, you'll see a human shite, a dog shite,
Yeah.
and a load of food, a couple of rats, and a dead seagull.
Yeah. Glamorous.
Yeah,
Glamorous.
glamorous. Yeah, we should have queued you the other way, but
I will say, shout out to my long lost family that I met yesterday.
Yeah,
They turned up to the pop-up.
Aaron's out there meeting Ken.
Second cousins.
That's mad, like, isn't it?
You say meeting Ken?
Yeah. That's what I will say. Like, there's some wily looking bastards that follow the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you meet them in the flesh, other large men
Oh,
with
man.
mullets.
There was guys look like
Perms.
you, guys look like me, guys look like a cocktail of you and me.
I know.
That one guy, that one big massive fucker with the really luscious mullet, I was like, this is like someone's merged me and your cells in a factory.
The guy with the curly mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who Michael Stone on roids.
Yeah. It's mad. I was embarrassed to even refer to what I have as a mullet. Seeing these men.
Yeah.
I was like looking at the back of it being like, that's not even wet.
You got mullet shamed a couple of times.
How is it not wet? Mine's be soaking in the weather.
That guy has been, he was at a gig in Strabane. I think he does like strongman stuff or something. The blonde mullet.
Yeah.
Absolute unit. Like.
Man, unbelievable.
And he's like, see there, man, fist bumped him. It felt like I was fist bumping a fucking pork joint. I was just like,
Turn my fist to glass.
I was like, what the fuck? Big hefty bastards. A lot of hefty bastards.
A lot of hefty hairs.
There was, fair play to them. But it was great to meet the people, you know. It's great.
We were gonna do that lookalike competition, but we'll do that next time.
There would have been a couple of blinders there.
We
like.
needed that out of our system.
Yeah, we need to
Then
see how it
because
works.
there's a few changes I would make. We definitely need like, you know, I'm trying to think of people. You know, the likes of Begley there would have been great as just a fucking site manager.
Yeah,
you
in
know-
a suit.
Yeah, in a yellow suit. You need like
That'd be great.
you need like somebody, you know, going like, everybody key up down a bit, you know, a bit of that.
Yeah.
Could you shimmy along there, please?
That's my issue because I
Couple of
will
runners.
I will chat to someone for ages and then I'll be like, oh fuck, there is a red queue behind them, you know. So you're trying to like,
Mexican Dave was like, shall I come down? I'm like, just be there anyway. I don't know what we'll need,
oh, a professional photographer.
you know.
The
But
whole
I was like, that definitely speeded up the process.
Yeah.
Because if everyone was just like doing a wee bit of chatting and being like, is there anybody take a photograph? I was just like, give it a Dave there. He loves it. Going, psh, psh, psh.
Yeah. There was,
And then I
there
kept
was-
getting tagged in things, and it was like, man, I've got one look. That's it. Didn't mix it up at all. Could have photoshopped me in.
I know.
I should have sent out fucking ping files.
I know you slag me for my smile,
I'd be like, make your own.
but you don't smile. You just do.
Okay, let me consult the story. No, I'd be smiling. I'd smile. Depends what photo they put up. You know, someone takes 3 photos. There'll be one of them where there's a full smile. The beginning of the smile,
Yeah.
the smile, and then you know, a split second after. Just
Yeah. The that take pose.
yeah. You done? That one girl that was there. Was she there with her mom or something? I don't know. But she was like,
Shout out to the guy who came with his dad. I thought that was lovely.
oh, that's nice.
Very wholesome. I like that.
Who was that? I can't remember.
The fella wrote to me in the DMs about it.
Okay, very nice, very nice. This girl came up and she was like, oh, your face must be sore from smiling. And this is about 2 hours in. And I went, I didn't really think about it till there now. And then I went to smile again. Face is like twitching and all.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, you made me paranoid now.
Yeah, there's definitely, if you were to look at the collection of photos, you could probably pinpoint the person onwards where I really needed a push.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was all I could think about.
Thank God it was, you know, it was that hot because I think that evaporated a lot of the pish.
Yeah.
Because I needed a pish from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I held it the whole time.
Some girl give me a baby Guinness as well.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, I needed that nap. It was full of Peronis and milkshakes. And then one girl, shout out to her as well. Some girl was like, you do have a great head of hair now. She's like, your hair will never go. And I was like, can I be honest with you? Me and you just,
Yeah.
one of the biggest fears I have. And she goes, you needn't bother.
Yep.
That's there to stay. You've been in the box like that. And I was like, well, thank you for
Thick hair.
stomping out that fear. I appreciate that a lot.
Just have a cry together in the corner.
In the live podcast as well.
I really appreciate that.
Some girl, like, kind of, it was like a heckle therapist. She was like, you need to stop going for these mad women. And I was like, I know, but how do I do that?
Yeah.
You know?
And
then
she
it just turned into a conversation with me.
I think that was code for, like, you know, stop trying to get into relationships and just sling that pace.
No.
That's you know, that's what she was trying to say.
No, the pace cannot be slung. No way.
It can be mushed and that's it.
No. This is not a room of pace slingers.
And all day was, Jesus, McCann, you're fucking way bigger than I thought.
A lot taller.
Yeah, you're a lot taller than I thought.
I think it's because you have better posture than me. Like sitting down. I'm a sloucher.
Not today.
No.
I need one of these under my chin. Just,
But right enough, it is. Like, the amount of comments I got of, like, fuck, you're wild tall in real life. You know? I'm like, I don't know how do I beat the allegations?
I don't know. Is it the desk is high? Someone was like, "Jeez, like, oh, McCann, I've never seen your legs before."
Aye.
I don't get anything. They're like, "Jeez, McCann, that's a fucking amazing head of hair. You're wild tall. You're taller than I thought you were." Colin. Anyway. I'm fat and bald as well in real life. Fucking class. There was one fella who was like, he was like, "Oh, he's not as big as I thought."
Aye.
And you're like, "Shut up, you fucking dwarf." Bigger than you anyway. Off you fuck, you baldy.
That's so us to just get called big, fat, hefty for years and years. And then some fella goes, actually, these aren't that big. And you're like, go fuck yourself. The fuck would you know?
Fucking sit in your head, see if
You wouldn't know size if I hit you in the fucking chin.
There is a few photos. I have a few photos out the back of Lavery's where, like, someone, I think maybe Dave took a photo of, I can't remember who was in the photo, but it was like me, you, I want to say like Geordie, Butler and Willie or something. And like amongst the group of comedians, massive men.
I think you sent that to me.
Like we're on the now you do
We're
get,
on the other end.
You do get the sort of warp because you're at either side of the photo, but you're just like, man, it just goes like this, like us, and then just down into a valley of William.
It's mental. Like
Fitton Harvey's big man. He's been the only other comedian who've been like, geez, he's a big lad.
he is long man.
Lanky.
Lanky's a great term.
Lanky bastard. I think you can be lanky kind of at any height.
Oh, you can, I.
Niall's got a bit of lank to him.
I know.
Bit lanky, I'd say.
Yeah.
Tiny wee legs.
Just Niall, you've wee fucking stumps on you.
It's a bit of lank to him.
Well, they're long. They're just very skinny.
Lank
Chicken
Williams.
legs.
Chicken legs.
Chicken legs, though, you know, it's more seen on, like, you ever see like a serious fucking jacked up top guy with the wee tiny legs? That's when it's like, it almost doesn't make sense.
There's not a lot you can do about that either. You know, it's a problem like a lot of bodybuilders have. You can't really add a lot of mass to the lower leg.
Yeah.
You can get it ripped up like, but you can't add that girth.
I can't even see this now. Was it on the Lavery's page?
No, it's on my phone. Just but do you remember like remember me and you doing jiu-jitsu the other day? We haven't even talked about that, have we?
No, we haven't. We talked about it last night at the live, but
You see that's what threw a spanner in the works for the merch pop-up was you were absolutely clinically fucked from the jiu-jitsu the day before.
man, big spanner. Big fucking spanner. And you know what?
We were driving in the car and you went, probably not the best decision to go to that the day before. And he said it like this. He was like, probably not the best decision to go to jiu-jitsu.
I've only been able to unlock the ability to turn my head again today. Yesterday, I couldn't have been more fucked. Like, an event like that, I love socializing. I love chatting to people.
Of course you do.
An event like that would not take the amount out of me that yesterday did.
Yeah.
And it has to be because for about an hour, I was getting strangled and choked. Yeah. And threw about mats. In the blistering heat, wearing a rash guard that tucked in my belly to an unhealthy degree.
Yeah.
Now, I will say though, absolutely loved it.
Great though, wasn't
Absolutely loved it.
it? And do you know, you see, Ryan Roddy invited us, and we met him in the fucking filling station. Mm-hmm. And he's like, when are you getting down? And I was like, oh, we should try and do it while you're home now. And then we left, and I was like, he will text.
And then he did.
And before
we got here?
before we got down here, he was like, yeah, get down Saturday, 1 o'clock. And sure, we turned up. There was a full open mat going on before we got there. So how many fellas were in there? 40?
Yeah.
Mats were full. Places, like, the air is thick with steam. It's like a sauna. Mats are soaking. Everyone's sweating a bit out. It's fucking 40 degrees in there. And they were all getting changed, and then we were getting ready to jump in. And then thank God he cracked the door when we got there, like, but
I'd say
let
some of
the
them
steam
boys
out.
in that mat looked over at us and was like, what the fuck are these two spoofers doing in here? You know what I mean? They're
Well,
probably
it
just
was-
after a serious session.
Some guy went to me like, you're late.
Nah,
It was the guy Adrian, actually. He was like, you're late. Started earlier. And I was like, yeah, we were told to be down here for 1 o'clock.
Ryan Roddy, the soft-spoken assassin.
Yeah. It's way scarier. You know, you got like your Eric Kelly on the other end. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll fucking kill you if you don't fucking want. And then the other end of the spectrum is just the quiet, sort of steely-eyed threat,
Yeah.
you know?
He's just like, he's like, because I was saying about, my neck had hurt after wrangling out of a hold you had, man. You know? I was like, no, it's grand. We just like, probably just stuff, whatever. And he goes, no, we want to make sure now because let me tell you something. In this gym, it's all about protecting people. Anyone comes in that door, I make sure that their safety is the main priority. Now, when I do competitions, I'm trying to break their necks. But in here, we protect everybody that walks through that door.
Yeah.
And I was like, did he just say that? He just said
He does drop a lot of ones like that,
yeah.
you know? Even that, he goes, we could, there's a lot of places you can start with jiu-jitsu, but, we'll start at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
And that is separation from consciousness.
Yeah.
He's like, we could, we could show you many things to do here, but this is what we're going for. And that would be ultimately mount or taking someone's back.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a rear naked choke. So of course, I'm the dummy. I'm the crash test dummy here. So he's showing you the choke on me. And then he's like, go on ahead and give it a go. So I just have to sit there politely on my arse and get repeatedly choked. There's nothing worse than drilling like chokes. Because you actually have to be like, is that on? And the person's like purple going, yes.
Yeah.
Is that all right? They'd be like, just a wee bit, yes. That's it. Ah!
Yeah.
And then he lets go and he's like, go ahead, you yarn, and you're fucking fumbling about there. And then, it's just it's unpleasant from the word go.
Yeah.
Like even that first arm's pressure when you're folding a big old trunk around it like that.
Yeah.
So you're like, that's tight. And then you're trying to figure it out for 20 seconds. So for the 20 seconds, I'm slowly going purple. Just like, just whatever you're ready.
You sound like Stitch.
Whatever you're ready, just go ahead. Is it on? It's on, it's up. Top.
Aye. Yeah, you're sitting there and I'm like, Ryan, right enough now, Drake, come on here.
Yeah, and I'm just drifting off the whole time because he's just like very, like immediate, very tight, and
Yeah.
you're just like tap, and you're like putting me in it and going like, let me just where's this hand going?
Yeah.
But it's still tight. It's not unpleasant. The whole thing is unpleasant.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of that, wrestling about and all, but it's just, I mean,
I will say he definitely got me into it. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
He definitely did. Very good coach. Can tell that he prioritizes what's important in that place. And
just not breaking necks.
yes.
Yeah.
Not there.
But in competition,
But it's like it drips down into everyone there. Everyone there is pretty sound and zen and
it was good. It was
nobody's
good times.
acting a hatchet.
And then I looked over at one point. You had just taken the gi top off, taken the rash guard off, and we're just walking around in the pants
Yeah.
out the door, just like a pink,
Yeah. Of course it was.
heavy pink.
And pink was zero exercise. Do you think that like doesn't get any
But
worse?
it was the uniform pinkness.
Yeah.
It wasn't like blotchy or there's been friction here. Your whole body and arms.
I'll tell you one thing
Same
you'll never
pink.
see mice getting again. A rash guard.
No, don't like it.
What a hoax that is. It's to protect you from like getting rashes. I was like, I'll take the rash because right now I feel like I'm in a boiler.
Yeah.
It's a full sauna suit.
Yeah, you probably go in there with the tits out underneath it.
But the jiu-jitsu gym in Queens, right beside Rosario's. So it'll be sandwiches and jiu-jitsu for me for the next couple of weeks.
Unreal. It was a great time. But you were suffering a bit yesterday. Getting in the car was fun to watch. Couldn't get the phone out quick enough.
Yeah.
You swinging the legs in.
I was very sore.
And then the head, like trying to get your head down into the car.
Oh man, the amount of lactic acid me yesterday. Not in lactic.
The lactic king.
Just literally. But I'll start lactic on my back. It was fucking hell on earth. But that's what you have to do. Like something like that is like what I was expecting, right? Because I was like, right, this is gonna be something. I haven't done any sort of like combat sport like that involves grappling since I was in secondary school. So I was like, there has to be ramifications from that on the body. If you're moving muscles that you haven't moved in a while, if you're in positions you haven't been in a while, there's going to be ramifications. Like boking. But I was expecting, if you haven't been to the gym in a while, and you lift, you walk about like the robot for the next few days. I was expecting stiffness.
Yes.
What I got, just a package of hell.
Just nose to tail injury.
Oh my God. Everything was sore. Yeah. Fingers weren't right.
Yeah.
Back wrecked.
But you have to think about like when do you ever do any of those things? Anyone on earth, when do you ever like grab a fucking gay thing with a moving human?
I haven't grabbed a gay in 12 years.
Gayless.
Gayless.
Like you haven't done that, so it's like rough and thick and your fingers are fucking sore. Pulling nails out left, right, and center. There's that. When do you like? You have to literally get conditioned to being squeezed on the neck.
You have to. That's the thing is like, you have to follow. I think in order to achieve happiness in life, you do have to follow your inclinations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you're like, oh, I like that,
Did he send you a follow-up message?
He did.
What did that say? Was it encouraging?
Yes, I said to him,
because I said to him, I was like, show him a good time now, because this is very important to me that Aaron gets heavily into jiu-jitsu, because nothing would make my life easier than we could just hang out at the house, man. Roll about in our jammies.
Well, there was something in my brain.
I'm gonna mat this area out here. This is gonna go. This is gonna be mats very shortly.
Now you're refereeing.
Oh,
there was something in my brain in secondary school that led me to judo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I followed it, and I really, really liked it, and did it for about 4 or 5 years. Loved it. Great neck. Back in the day when I made judo days, as a former judoka, and then discovered pints.
Judoka McCann.
Judoka. And then I discovered pints, and I was like, cool, sure, you can't really keep the two of these up, like,
Let me hip throw these pints into me.
Yeah, you fall off the wheel for a couple of years, whatever. Classic tale, man getting caught out in uni, And then that session the other day, I was like, oh, I haven't unlocked this area of my brain in a while. This feels good. I like this. I like how I feel after it, bar the injuries.
Bar the life-threatening injuries.
But I was like, this is good. This is something that if I was to, continue doing it, I would probably notice a wealth of benefits in my life.
Without a doubt.
And I said to Ryan, I sent him a message out of, politeness. I was like, show a bit of manners. And I said, cheers for yesterday, brother. I had a great time. I appreciate the time. I can't walk today, though.
Yeah.
And then he reacted with a laughy face. And he said, it was a pleasure, man. You've plenty natural ability for it. I think you'll progress very quickly if you decided to get into it. Mm-hmm. I says, I appreciate that. I'll definitely call him to the club beside me in New York. And he goes, good lad, keep me updated. The pain will subside. You tired after that question mark? I says, Ryan, to be honest, absolutely shattered. Haven't felt pain like it in years. But I loved it. And he goes, if it makes you feel any better, I'm tired today myself. Turns out throwing 2 gorillas around for an hour is sore in the body. And then I sent 8 laughing faces to show that means I actually was laughing. Yeah. If I send you 1 laughing face, I'm just trying to get you out of the road.
That's out of courtesy.
But if I send you 7, I actually did giggle a wee bit.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ryan, for your
time.
I
do have footage on a card, which I will piece together. I might actually just for the crack do like a tap montage. Just all the times that we tapped. It would just go like,
try and put it to a nice beat.
Yeah, just tap. Now, this is a photo.
Have you seen this now? Have you seen this? Have you
Oh,
heard
yeah,
of this?
So this was us. There he is, the nasty piece of work in the middle. An evil wee shit. He's by the way, before he like taught us all that shit and rolled with us for like a while, he'd already been to like MMA sparring, I think, for like an hour and a half, and they had a full open mat with God knows countless rounds, and then we came in, and the guy's fucking eating a fucking yogurt in the break. And he's like, yeah, I had to bang a dinner into me there, sort of regret it now. And he's like, I had a big dirty Chinese last night and fucking chime in coming out of my arsehole. And he's like, man, this kefir or whatever is repeating on me. What do you call that? Milky shit.
And again, like if
I just burped on a full fucking chicken ball.
I was to turn back the clock, you know.
There's a lot of bad decisions.
If
made.
I was to turn back the clock, the night prior to this, probably shouldn't have inhaled a chicken fried rice with curry sauce, prawn crackers, and a couple of chicken and cheese rolls.
Chicken and cheese rolls?
Yes.
The fuck is that?
A delicacy at Riverside Chinese, Omar.
Tell me about that.
It's just literally spring rolls with chicken and cheese.
Oh my.
And I tell you what, I don't know if they're actually serving that in China, but if they aren't, they need to get on it quick because that is printing money in the McCann house anyway.
All I'm trying to think about now is there time for me to get the Oma to get one of these before
Oh my
you go
God.
home? Anyway, this is the humorous photo. I went for the US college wrestler stance there.
Yeah.
That went down a treat. I'm wearing socks there for I have a verruca, which is gross. Which I'll tell you how that started. I stood in a bit of glass in my kitchen a long time ago, and I hooked it out, and then I sort of marched around the place, probably in God knows where, weird showers and whatnot, and there's a verruca in the hole that there was once before. Now, have you ever heard anything more disgusting?
That is absolutely rotten.
It is rotten. I'm ashamed of myself. I might get the leg off.
Nah, not over America.
No, I'm gonna book in and just get it cut out. I think you can just go somewhere and instead of treating it, just book it in, take the foot away.
Yeah,
the babies will get it at some point.
How big is said verruca?
Small.
Oh yeah,
You know, like fucking like that.
that's grand.
Small. From a piece of fucking glass that just left it open to the world of disease. But these are the proper BJJ ones with a grip on it.
Yeah, the grip socks.
Grip socks. So just not cool.
The grip socks?
Not cool at all. So I took this photo and I put it into ChatGPT and I said, please, for the love of fuck, you got to be real specific with this bitch. And I'm like, the man on the left, remove the socks, leaving only bare feet. And, I don't know why everyone's getting worried about this AI bullshit because it's cack. I'll tell you what it left me with here. Where's the fucking photo? This is what it changed to. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that guy? Who's this Mongolian bald man? So they kind of changed everybody. They took the socks off to give me the mannequin feet. I don't know who the fuck that is. And then, last but not least, oh Jesus Christ, who the fuck? What the fuck is that? They give you verrucas in your teeth?
I've got wooden teeth there, and
He's got the George Washington's in.
I've got the Washington grill on, and
The Washington grill.
the grill made by Folk Park, and then the fucking.
The Folk Park veneers.
Did you also put in the ChatGPT? Could you make it seem like my mate has been stung on the right by 1,000 wasps?
No. By the way, I sent that the Rad Rada and he goes, why is McCann the only one that looks normal? And I was like, are you sure?
Are you sure about that, Ryan? You look great, you fucker. Untouched.
They've made him tall or something.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know who this chap is here. This fucking Armenian hitman that they've turned me into. Here's a question. Is that better or worse looking than I already am?
It looks like a person that's been 4 years in art college has tried to sketch Fat Joe. The beard lineup, sensational.
Yeah. Yeah, right enough. It looks like I've been lined up. Let me see. Yeah, it's way better than my natural fluff. Look at the purple sheen on that there.
But that's how everyone looks after jets.
I not him.
You know?
He fucking 3 hours deep. Looks all right. Oh dear, what a day. There we go.
Great stuff. New infatuation unlocked.
Yeah, get real into it,
New
man.
YouTube wormholes.
Do you know?
all that.
I'll tell you another thing. Like, it's hard to get your hands on another big man in this sort of world here.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's fucking small and thin and wiry. You get the odd big bastard, but like me and you do well having another large partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd like a large partner.
You'd be my large partner.
Yeah. Large part.
And then we can practice together
Yeah.
in the darkness. Yeah. And we can, you know, make our own environment, put our own beats on and all.
I think the reason why I like it so much is because judo, my favorite part of it was newaza, which is just groundwork. And that kind of, and I don't want to boil it down here to something that it's not. It seems like judo, all newaza, for the most part.
What?
Like, or sorry,
Jiu-jitsu?
jiu-jitsu is kind of like just newaza, but it's the full sport.
Oh, well, of course, yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
It's grappling and ground fighting.
I like grappling.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's good, yeah. But and there's nothing stopping you implementing anything you've used in judo.
Although I did watch, I went to the Queen's, you fucking bastard. Went to the Queen's Jiu-Jitsu page and I seen a seminar they had where they invited in this judoka.
Yeah.
And she was doing these throws and they were on the right hand side recording her doing just an ogashi, which, you know, in the judo world, that is your bread and butter. And
Would that be your standard sort of hip throw?
that would be the first hip throw you learn.
Yep.
And I dare say, from what I found, it probably is the most effective in like competitions and stuff like that. You know, you bust out at a house party, everyone goes mad.
Yeah.
And
Oh gosh.
she did it, and the whole class was like, because you know, if you're not used to it, watching someone get thrown over someone's side like that onto the mat,
Big wallop.
it is. Yeah, it's a big like holy shit.
Hefty wallop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you see, you see some of the, there's a girl who's like a champion in the UFC at the minute, and she's fucking, she's such an animal that she struggles big style to like, I don't know what their top, I think it's 145 or something, or 135, top weight class in women, and she's killing herself to get down to this weight, and she's absolutely fucking jacked Olympic judo person, and she fucks people about.
Oh yeah.
Like at that level of judo against someone who's like training MMA, she's just like a fucking, like a dummy, just chucking them about.
I shall not name and shame, but there was a fella that I went to judo with, and he got into an altercation in the streets of Oma one night. Tore 3 lads apart, like they're a pinata.
Yeah.
Mental.
It's, yeah, there's, you know, there's people who can knock you out and stuff, boxing and whatever, but there's nothing like just walloping someone off the earth. Bang. Take that.
And I tell you what, with judo too, again, if you're a hefty here that can utilize it,
Yeah.
it's very impactful. Because not only are you getting thrown into the mat, but I'm coming down with you. All 20 stone of me, right in your belly.
Yeah. You're getting sandwich. You're between a rock and a hard place.
You are.
A rock and a soft place. Yeah. That was like a clip of the fella I showed you before this, where he just fucked someone on the ground, but he was coming with them.
Yeah.
Bosh.
Yeah.
Absolutely pancaked in the panini press.
100%.
The real life panini press.
But you know, people that are actually good at fighting,
Yep.
you know, people that are well versed in this world,
Yep.
they don't get into stuff like that.
No.
You'll never find them doing stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's like, what, you know, you're like, yes, I could absolutely beat you in a fight, but I'll beat you so badly that now I'm in trouble.
In fact, you do get to a certain level where they laugh. You know, if someone's like screaming at them in the street or something,
Yeah.
or acting up, they just silently laugh to them.
Do you know what's a great video to watch? Do you know that guy Bradley Martin?
Nope.
He's a big jacked gym guy. You definitely see the guy like on he'll have people on the podcast and be like, you know, I'm 260 pounds, jacked, whatever, you know, and he'll say to like Nate Diaz, can I beat you in a fight? And Nate Diaz is like, no. And he's like, but I'm 260. And he's like, yeah, but you're a podcaster. Of course you can't beat me in a fight. Are you mental? But anyway, he went to some jiu-jitsu place, and you know, it just so happens that this guy is also a large man, a brown belt, and he just the ease with which he just fucks him about the place, like,
Yes.
it's crazy.
Yes.
Like but it's even the conditioning. Like he that was a fairly laboured throw for two big men. And he hits the ground. He's like, oh, I really banged my head. You know, it's that sort of shit. With the condition, if you're just used to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Someday you get your neck squeezed so much, you'll be like, I can still turn my head on.
Oh yeah, well judo, like, you know, your first time you do get ogashid, you're like, well, that's me dead now. That's me paralyzed. And then
that's the hips gone.
You keep getting thrown and thrown and thrown to the point where you're like, you can't just get up. Wrestlers have to do it. Wrestlers take bumps for like months before they're allowed to have a move performed on them.
Yeah.
Because you have to get used to throwing your body against the surface.
Crazy time. Anyway, welcome back to the Martial Arts Hour with Colin and Aaron. We've covered all the ground fighting sports. Fantastic. Let me just show you. Remember we did the Glastonbury toilet cleaner guy? Mm. Found another one. It's the accent in this for me. Perfect Bomb Squad material. Just on a wee note before we leave.
If you've followed me for a while, you'll know we like a challenge. This is probably the hardest one yet, but we gave it a bash. It was too much for us, so the guys at EK Drainage came out and gave us a horn, so they get rid of all the lumpy stuff. And even that was a struggle. After a day of hard work from EK Drainage, it was over to us.
Oh my God.
It was left for us. We had running water again, and the bath was cleared. So we need to clean the bath, give the toilet a deep cleaning, get rid of that toilet paper. The lid couldn't be savaged, but look at this for an after video. The lassies have done a great job with the help, of course, for EK Drainage.
I mean,
I just love that they're like that house needs burnt down.
Yes.
And they're like, that's it now, fucking perfect. Next tenant, off you go.
You know, people say, like,
straight in there.
yeah, you know when people say, like, you know, I could live in a haunted house. I could live in a haunted house, so sweat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think about it. Yeah. If someone showed me a video being like, this was what your toilet looked like before you moved in here, I'd be like, get my family out of here immediately.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. Like,
what
there's legit probably someone just moving in there being like, what's the stain in the bath? And he's like, I don't know, fucking leak or something.
It looked like an unclassified animal just shit in the top of that toilet.
Looked like 10 rhinos shot down the toilet.
Shite.
That's how I leave, like a fucking Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Premier Inn. That's what it looks like when I leave. That was too much shite for me to handle, so I got a horn from fucking...
I love how he was like, the lid's gone.
The lid. Unfortunately, we couldn't salvage the lid.
I don't want that salvaged lid. No. Let me buy a new lid. I'll fork out for a new lid.
Nothing in there needs salvaged. I'd be like, tiles are up, fucking bath's gone, everything's getting replaced. Oh, dearie me.
Do you think shit like that's been laying there for that long, it gets to the point where there isn't even a smell to it? Like it's became part of the furniture?
No.
It's always going to smell?
Yes. It was clumps and clumps of, as he said, the lumpy stuff.
Unbelievable.
Kind of regret showing that now. But anyway,
can't win. Easy?
You can't win. Yeah. It's the hoovering the shite bit. I sort of go like, oh, fuck.
I love taking just a glance at your saved videos.
No, it's nuts, bro.
Chaos.
It's nuts.
What's the nightmare waiting to happen?
Oh, this was the other... What?
What's the nightmare waiting to happen?
Oh, it was like something to do with Facebook, having all your details.
Oh, God.
I save a lot of stuff like that. Read later.
Yeah.
Is this what New York's like?
You guys know I love New York. So you can do this shit and nobody cares. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before, no. And I just gotta tell you right now that I really do believe that some got a hold on me, yeah. Oh my God.
Poor old fella.
Like, apart from the one crazy, sort of homeless guy there, everyone else is just like,
yeah,
just wobbling about in the tube.
Yeah. Oh, the homeless men, they're sort of self-police the carriages.
Yeah.
You can't be acting up in front of them.
Yeah. Shut up, you stupid whore. I think I might get my whole life without going like, shut up, you stupid whore.
I would never utter such a sentence.
Oh, filthy chat.
I'd say whore. Fuck up, you hear you. It's later.
That's the other thing. She would start singing, go almost unnoticed because it's New York and it's crazy. And you would go like, shut up, you hear you. And they'd be like, oh, this guy's
It's fentanyl.
I don't know where this guy's from. Don't even know what he said.
Fuck up with you. Will you fuck up? Will you fuck up too? The subway carriages though is a gamble every time. Like every single time you get onto it, like you have no idea what the fuck people could be on there, or like what's gonna happen, or you just see some mad shit. There's always Wayne selling sweets. You know, I gave into that the other week.
Did you?
I bought a pack of sweets.
What, ranchers?
Well, it was just
Get some ranchers for me off the.
It was the sight of the woman with the baby on her back, and she came up selling sweets, and I was like, fuck, gonna hit. Then I was like, here, there's 10, and I'll just take a packet of M&M peanuts. Did not eat them. Just at that point, I was just like, just take money. Because most people you do become numb to homeless people. Unfortunately, I mean, it's a byproduct of living in New York. You lose a good sense of empathy. Because here you might see, you know, one or two on your travels. There it's like bang, 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 bang. And you're like, I'm skinned. I can't give to all these.
Yeah. That's it.
It's unfortunate.
You been collecting cans?
I know.
We house party at the house, make a fortune.
We are. We're having the safari party next week.
Woo! Will we get out of here and leave the good folks to enjoy a Patreon?
Yes, we're going to sign on over to the Patreon. You should
Slide
join
on
us.
over the Patreon there. Wow. Yeah, get on over there. Patreon.com/the Bomb Squad Pod. Unlock. We need a saying, you know, like an EA Sports type. We need something like that.
It's in the game.
Unlock the filth.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Unleash the cash.
Nice.
Anyway, patreon.com/the Bomb Squad Pod. Loads of podcasts. We got the New York tapes.
Oh.
We got the New York. I broke the microphone. We got the New York tapes. We got the Bog Squad with me and McCartney. It's all over there, guys. Specials, live recordings, you name it. Get on over there. See you next time.
Have a lovely week, folks.
Unleash the cash.
Enjoy yourselves.